of Justice Brett Kavanaugh will galvanize GOP voters in key congressional contests, including the North Dakota Senate race.
That's who our next guest is looking to unseat Democratic incumbent Heidi Heitkamp, who voted against Brett Kavanaugh.
Congressman and U.S. Senate candidate Kevin Cramer joins us right now. Good morning to you, Kevin.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, friends.
Okay.
Good to be with you.
So, the latest Fox News poll was taken before Heidi Heitkamp voted against Justice Kavanaugh, and you were leading by 12. I think a lot of people in North Dakota were curious which way she was going to vote. She voted that way. How's that going to impact this race?
Well, I can tell you, having been out on, across North Dakota this last weekend and week doing my Main Street tour, it has only enhanced the enthusiasm for our campaign. So you're right, I had a 12-point lead in the Fox poll prior to the announcement, but I've enjoyed a pretty good lead ever since I got into the race in February, but certainly the enthusiasm level has been accelerated.
Why do you think she decided to vote against Kavanaugh, especially when you were leading her in the polls? She's the incumbent. She had a chance to gain some points there. I watched her in an interview. She said she was following her heart. But if she's behind, why do you think she decided to continuously say she was not going to vote for him and ultimately doing that?
Sure, Ainsley. It's a very curious question because I was perhaps the most surprised person in America that she did vote the way she did. I was certain she would vote for him.
I'm sure you were grateful, right?
Well, she not really, to be honest with you, because Brett Kavanaugh is the perfect Supreme Court justice for North Dakota. His opinions on everything from Second Amendment rights to environmental law, EPA overreach, I mean, he is right down the center of the plate for North Dakota. So I'd prefer to have my senator voting for him.
Okay, sorry to interrupt you. What were you going to say? Because I'm curious. You said at first you were so shocked and surprised.
I was surprised because she's built an entire brand on being the bipartisan senator from North Dakota who reaches across the aisle, who always does what's right for North Dakota, independent of her leadership, votes with President Trump when it's important for North Dakota, and yet she blew all of that up, all of her millions of dollars of branding, she blew it all up in one vote. So it's very curious to me. The only thing I could imagine is it's some sort of a Hail Mary type of play. There was no real gain for her in either vote, either for him or against him. So I think she's probably looking at how do you minimize losses.
And Congressman, you did raise some eyebrows when you brought up the Me Too movement, and you think it's gone too far, and that maybe generations in the past in your family, women were tougher. They were raised on the prairie. Do you want to expand on that?
Well, sure. What's I think's happened, I think what's pretty obvious what's happened is the zeal of the movement has gone too far, to the point where they're accosting, male members of the United States Senate in the Capitol, in elevators, and then they cry victim as soon as they are spoken back to. And what happens when they do that is they actually damage their own cause. And, oftentimes the left does that. They go too far. They exaggerate. Again, their zeal gets the best of them. And frankly, sometimes conservatives do the same thing. But right now, the Me Too movement, I think, is actually hurting their own cause.
All right. Kevin Cramer joining us today from the Dakotas. Sir, thank you very much. He's running for the U.S. Senate.
Yeah, thank you so
Reached
much.
out to Heidi Heitkamp. She did not respond. But Kevin Cramer with a significant lead right now, double figures.
He answered the phone. We put him on. If she'd like to be on TV, we'd love to talk
have
to
her.
her.
All right, 20 minutes after the top of the hour.
Nikki Haley's surprise resignation yesterday sent shockwaves through the District of Columbia. What is the White House saying this morning? Counselor to the President, Kelly